My name is Vaughan and I'm co-author with David Sims of Leading by Story. I want to introduce my new book, Kingdom Stories, which builds on some of the ideas that David and I explored in our collaboration together. So I start with the fact that the kingdom of God's a very important part of Jesus' message, but ask, where do we derive our notions of kingship and kingdoms, monarchy and authority now in the 21st century? In this respect, one thing I found fascinating was when Queen Elizabeth II was visiting the set of the TV series Game of Thrones and was photographed next to the Iron Throne, which plays a significant role in the show's storyline. There we had two key sources for our contemporary understanding of monarchy and kingship: the UK's longest reigning ruler and an iconic image from a TV show that deals with supremacy and power. So my book, Kingdom Stories, Telling, Leading, Discerning, explores what stories about God's kingdom look like in the present day. I begin by briefly setting out different ways in which historians have seen Jesus' views on the arrival of the kingdom, and then outline my own approach for how different forms of artistic narrative help us to engage with the kingdom of God around us. Examples I draw upon are Alfie Bradley's Knife Angel sculpture. Bradley designed the Iron Throne for the Game of Thrones TV series, Francis Thompson's poem, The Kingdom of God, and Greta Gerwig's movie, Lady Bird. Then I take these ideas and see how they relate to 8 gospel narratives of Jesus, in particular how stories about Jesus and stories he told continue to energize and shape the ongoing ministry of the church in key areas of leadership and management. Specifically, I look at risk and authenticity, purpose and discipleship, trust and typologies, wisdom, meaning, and followership. Notions of heaven and earth, kingdoms and kingship may seem a long way from current organisational thinking, but recent studies have suggested our apparently secular world continues to be shaped hugely by its Christian past. One example is how charismatic leadership and practical management are influenced by theological perceptions about heavenly and earthly realms. I investigate this using Signorelli's fresco of the Last Judgment from Orvieto Cathedral, before turning to how this has found expression in the work of Henry Scott Holland's famous piece, Death is Nothing at All, and in the films The Shape of Water and Coco. In the next section, I examine in detail how one form of kingdom story found expression in a specific instance of church ministry. The 100th anniversary marking the end of World War I was an opportunity for many and varied commemorations, and a number of these involved knitted poppy projects. One such, in Warwick, aimed to collect 11,500 flowers, but in the event had 65,000 donated to it, and tens of thousands of visitors came to see what was, in effect, the yarn bombing of a church. Kingdom Stories takes a narrative approach to analyse what this form of popular culture expression might mean for our understanding of the place of memory, faith, and the kingdom of God in 21st century Western society. I conclude by examining how we can discern different types of kingdom story and the implications for churches now as they seek to proclaim God's kingdom. I hope you've enjoyed this introduction to Kingdom Stories, Telling, Leading, Discerning, and will want to explore further the ideas that I set out and explore there.